On Monday, Thailand launched airstrikes at neighbouring Cambodia as fresh fighting broke out along their disputed border. The hostilities are the latest in a long-running conflict that spiralled into a brief but full-on military clash earlier this year, before being settled by a US and Malaysian brokered ceasefire and later peace agreement. This Trump-backed peace deal now looks on the verge of collapse, with both the Thai and Cambodian militaries accusing the other of breaching it. So in this video, we're going to explain the latest wave of violence, why the peace deal has seemingly failed, and where things might go from here. Explore which world leaders are winning and which are losing every week with our new podcast, the World Leader Leaderboard. Find it over on the TLDR podcast's YouTube channel or in your favourite podcast app. So let's get straight into it by explaining what just happened in the last few days. According to Cambodian authorities, Thai troops have engaged in, quote, numerous provocative actions for many days, including by opening fire on Cambodian soldiers close to the border in Phra Bihar province on Sunday. Cambodia says its forces did not retaliate and accused Thailand of trying to instigate confrontations. The Thai military, however, accused Cambodia of starting the clashes, saying that Thai soldiers had been fired upon while repairing a road within Thai sovereign territory in Sisaket province. The Thai military added that its forces returned fire, leading to a clash that lasted about 15 to 20 minutes. Thailand then reported further border clashes overnight into the early hours of Monday morning, accusing Cambodian troops of killing one Thai soldier and wounding several others in Thailand's Ubon Ratchathani province. The Thai military said it retaliated against this by deploying F-16 fighter jets to strike a number of military targets in Cambodia on Monday morning, adding that Cambodia had mobilized heavy weaponry and repositioned combat units, prompting Thailand's use of air power to deter and reduce Cambodia's military capabilities. Thai Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul said that Thailand never wished to see violence, but would not allow the violation of its sovereignty, adding that further military action would be decided according to the conditions of the situation. Cambodia's de facto leader, Hun Sen, labelled Thai forces as aggressors and urged Cambodian troops to be patient. So with those most recent events now covered, we're going to take a look at why Cambodia and Thailand have tense relations, and what's driving this intermittent but deadly conflict. For more historical detail, you can check out the video we put out in July when the conflict last flared up. But the TLDR is that Cambodia and Thailand have several competing territorial claims along their shared 800-kilometre border, the most notable being the 11th century Phra Bihar temple. The more than century-old disputes date back to the French colonial era, with Cambodia claiming the temple based on a 1907 map drawn up by France. To Thailand's frustration, the International Court of Justice awarded the temple to Cambodia in 1962, but the dispute resurfaced again in 2008 after Cambodia registered the site as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The renewed tensions escalated into clashes along the border, which continued for the next 3 years, peaking with a week-long exchange of artillery fire in 2011. An ICJ ruling in 2013 then reaffirmed Cambodian sovereignty over the temple and adjacent area. In May this year, tensions started rising again after a Cambodian soldier was killed during an exchange of gunfire, and after weeks of escalating political tensions, a multi-day clash ultimately erupted in July. ASEAN-head Malaysia and the US brokered a ceasefire, with an expanded peace agreement signed in October in the presence of Donald Trump, with the sides agreeing to withdraw heavy weapons from the border, boost confidence-building measures, and more. However, the feud is about more than just who controls a temple and what are relatively small pockets of borderland. It's a territorial dispute infused with nationalist fervour and historic grievances. The proliferation of cyber scam centres in Southeast Asia may also have played a role. Thailand this year stepped up its crackdown on scam centres operating across the Thai-Cambodia border, potentially frustrating Cambodian authorities with investigations into influential Cambodian figures. The collapse of what was once a long and friendly relationship between Cambodia's ruling Hun family and Thailand's Shinawatra family was central to this year's conflict too. Cambodia's Hun Sen burned bridges with the Shinawats by leaking an audio recording of a call he had with then Thai PM Paetongtarn Shinawatra, a move that ultimately precipitated her ousting. Landmines have also been a major recurring source of tension between the two countries. While Cambodia's many landmines are a dark legacy of the country's decades of war in the 20th century, Thailand has repeatedly accused the Cambodian military of planting fresh landmines across their border, a violation of the Anti-Landmine Ottawa Treaty, though Cambodia denies doing so. Last month, a landmine blast wounded a number of Thai soldiers in the border area, prompting the Thai government to unilaterally suspend the implementation of the US and Malaysian brokered peace deal. So the Trump-backed peace agreement was already fraying before this week's violence erupted and put it into even more doubt. This shouldn't really come as a surprise, as despite Trump's assertion that things were going to be fine, underlying issues were left unresolved, and heightened nationalist sentiment on both sides of the border means that neither government wants to look soft, though this probably applies more to Thailand. The situation going forward is therefore likely to continue to be tense, with potential for further clashes. Any hopes that the removal of Paetongtarn Shinawatra from the Thai premiership would cool the situation down have not borne out. Paetongtarn's replacement, Anutin, is incentivized to uphold a hard line against Cambodia. He is currently facing mounting criticism for his government's response to the deadly flooding in southern Thailand, so any conciliation towards Cambodia risks making him even more politically vulnerable. An election is also looming in Thailand this coming spring, so Anutin will want to go into that looking strong on sovereignty and security, rather than weak, especially having seen how his predecessor was brought down by perceived softness on Cambodia. Anutin has ruled out any immediate negotiations with Cambodia, and when asked whether he'd spoken to either Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim or Trump, he said, "No, this is a bilateral issue," signalled that he no longer regards the joint declaration made with Cambodia earlier this year as binding, and dismissed concerns about the potential impact of all this on trade or tariff negotiations with the US. Effectively, Anutin appears to be gambling that the domestic benefits of this hardline approach will outweigh the political and economic risks that come with renewed violence and potentially jeopardizing trade talks with the US. Meanwhile, Cambodia, with its much smaller military that basically has no operational air force, has sought to position itself as the upholder of the peace deal, claiming it's not retaliated to any Thai attacks and was strictly committed to the previous agreement. Given what Cambodia got from the US out of the deal, including a tariff reduction, the lifting of a US arms embargo, and more, Cambodia is understandably keen to be seen as the one trying to uphold, rather than jeopardize, the Trump-backed peace agreement. Our magazine Too Long is now officially in stock, with this latest issue focusing on the reshaping of the Middle East. In this magazine, we run through each country in the region to discuss how they're rewriting the next chapter of their story, from Qatar's growing global influence, who will govern New Gaza, if Iran could dash for a nuke, or how Lebanon can disarm Hezbollah. This is a region we know a lot of you are interested in, so this latest issue dives deep with our real thoughts on the next era of this often troubled region. Not only that, but we also have sections focusing on UK, EU and global news, including our full rundown of some of the biggest elections which happened around the world over the past year. There's also our interview with YouTube's Money and Macro on how to fix the EU economy, the rise of the politician influencer, and the new left emerging in the UK. As a special Christmas offer, we're offering you special gifts if you subscribe to Too Long. For instance, new subscribers can get a set of TLDR keyrings for free, our assembly-required desk calendar for just £2 more, our wall calendar or Brexit the colouring book for £3 more, or get your first copy entirely free if you buy it alongside assembly required. Find all of the options by clicking the link in the description, or as always, skip all of the physical stuff by picking up the digital edition today.